Steel City live. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later as we are going to dive in and talk a little bit about Mike Tomlin's press conference here to begin the week, the Ravens week, round 3 of the of the rivalry, in which is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens in this 2025 playoffs and this 2024 season and its complexity. What's up, Anger? How are you, man? Again, this will be our first of 2 live streams here today on Mike Drop Sports. So we're going to try something here a little different, see how this works. This will be something that we're going to try a little bit probably for next season also. Awesome, man. Hey, sleep in while you can, Inger. That's what you got to do, buddy. Our kids had a dismissal. We do have a little bit of snow on the ground, so they did not have school today. So, yeah, here we are diving in, guys. Again, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button. What's up, Miss Pittsburgh? We're going to review, though, this press conference by Mike Tomlin. We're going to talk a little bit about the playoff matchup if we can, if we have time. But I want to talk a lot about what Mike Tomlin had to say today, which was a lot of nothing, and that has to be concerning to Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I don't see a willingness inside of Mike Tomlin or in the way he presents himself to the media today. That's a willingness to change, a willingness to adapt. And I find this to be a major, major issue, my friends. I feel like it's going to be a big, big problem. And I think it's going to spell disaster for the Pittsburgh Steelers inside of the 2025 playoff bracket. I really, really do. After hearing what he said, he blamed it all on everything but what it needs to be blamed on. He really took zero accountability in my eyes with the coaching and the schematics and things of that nature. I have to applaud one, Jerry Dulac, who asked the question, Mike, why are we starting off here running the ball a gazillion times over and over, not trying to incorporate the pass, not trying to have any balance, and basically how his question was phrased. And Mike Tomlin kind of just was like, yeah, we want to be different, but we wanted to dictate and limit the time Joe Burrow was on the football field. And what does he always say? We don't live in our fears. What are you talking about? I don't understand if he really clearly understands that message when he speaks it, because you're blatantly saying in what you just answered that question with, saying we fear Joe Burrow. We wanted to limit his time on the field, but yet here you sit saying we are not living inside of our fears, but yet you are living inside of your fears, because you can't approach offensive football at the NFL level in today's game off of strictly one piece of the puzzle, strictly time of possession. You can't focus on one thing. You have to create balance. You have to create an environment in which you're different, and they're not doing that, guys. And I understand how the Steelers have played ball for years, man. Run it down your throat, play steady defense, win by smash mouth football. I get that. But as I said in the morning upload today, you have to take your ball club and the people on that roster, the players on that roster, you have to identify the things that they do special, and then you tailor the schematics around what they do special. You have to put them in a position to succeed. And if you're not going to do that, your unwillingness to do that shining through after a month of just steady insanity, where you do the same thing without any type of real change. It's really sad, guys, and really, really something that is becoming very troublesome for me. Let me get to the chat a little bit. What's up, James Bauman, Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Andre Green, ready or not, here we go. Miss Pittsburgh, the Bengals didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. Yeah, and the Bengals were giving the Steelers opportunities, guys, giving them many opportunities. That score could have been way out of whack. I watched the game again. And I looked at what the defense did. I got to say, overall, they weren't horrible, but they weren't good. That is a very good offense with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the schematically was messed up a little bit for the Steelers there, or they could have had a little bit more success possibly. But we'll dive into that a little bit more tonight too. But again, this is our first of 2 live streams here on the channel today. Don't forget our daily upload. That's doing really well right now, so make sure you go and check that out and throw a like on that. Also, double tap that screen, hit that like button for us here today as we review Mike Tomlin's press conference here and get you, the fan, your voice to be heard here a little bit. And guys, I got to say, the reporters asked a couple questions today that were a little bit more direct, and I got to applaud them, and I'm fair. I'm going to call them out when they do shitty things, and I'm going to call them out when they do okay things or good things. And today I thought they were a little bit more direct. I don't think they were blatant enough in my opinion, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Maybe, they don't get another chance to ask questions and they wasted their last opportunity. Steeler Lee, totally understand everyone wanting Tomlin gone, but I have a question. Are we as fans willing to give up Cam, TJ, and Minka as they all have made it clear they won't play for anybody but Tomlin? I value what you're saying there. I see what exactly you're saying, Steeler Lee, and welcome to the channel. I don't know if I've seen your name before, but welcome if you're new. Make sure you subscribe if you can and hit that like button. But when you're dealing with mass quantities of money, large amounts of money, and you're contracted to play for a football team, you're not going to leave because Mike Tomlin leaves. That's a lot of lip service. That's a lot of bullshit BS. These guys have families and generational wealth to worry about. They're not going to just worry about what Mike Tomlin's feelings are or where he goes. They're not going to follow him. And this is an NFL business. They're not going to be able to just dictate where they want to go. They're going to go this specific place. If you're under contract with the Steelers and you demand you want out, you're probably not going to go where you want to go. You're probably going to go somewhere else, maybe that is even bigger part of football purgatory than the Steelers are right now. But again, I don't think that would be the case. But I see exactly what you're saying, and I think the Steeler fans might be willing to part ways with some of these players if things, don't get any better to where, what's fair. And if you're a true fan of these players, maybe you want them to go somewhere else to have a chance to actually win a Lombardi trophy. Inger, man, I'm so stupid. When I heard we won our division, I thought we had our first round bye, but that's the conference winners. And did you see the bracket? The wild card is Ravens and Steelers and Ravens at home. Yeah, I seen that, Inger. Yeah, we talked about it last night. Steelers, definitely the 6th seed after losing to the Bengals. It looked okay. I thought the Chargers might be able to catch a loss yesterday. That didn't happen. But anyway, Steelers 6, Ravens 3. Inger, for anybody that's listening that doesn't understand his question, he's a Baltimore Ravens fan. So that's when he was talking about we. The Ravens won their division, but you have to be the number 1 seed inside of this expanded playoff bracket to become eligible for a first round playoff bye. Only the 1 seed gets it. So 2 will play 7. 2 will play 7 now. And that is the Buffalo Bills facing off against the Denver Broncos. I kind of like that matchup. I look for an upset, guys. I can guarantee you this, and I'm going to say this here before we continue talking about Mike Tomlin's press conference. I could see an upset out of that Broncos-Bills matchup, or I could see an upset out of this Steelers-Ravens matchup. I'm not giving the Steelers tremendous chance here to beat the Ravens, but let's not discount it. The Ravens have not been very good against the Steelers, despite what anybody wants to think of over one performance that happened here over the last 5 years. Really 2 performances where they beat the Steelers. The first one, they didn't really beat them that badly either, and the Steelers had their chances the last time they played them. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here and absolutely write the Steelers off. That's not the case, but I do think that the Baltimore Ravens hold a significant advantage. Now, when you look at some of the injuries that were occurred with the Baltimore Ravens Sunday, there might be a problem here, or Saturday rather. There might be an issue there with some of those players. You'll have to just see how this all plays out, how the week plays out, and definitely we'll see what happens. James Bauman, got to get first downs to limit teams, period, no matter how you get them. Amen, man. You got to have balance. Jason, our favorite play was ran 6 times for -9 yards. Yeah, I don't understand why that question isn't asked either. Why are you running Cordell Patterson on a pitch in a pivotal moment in a football game, and you're running Patterson out there to run that pitch play? Why are you bringing Najee Harris back in after stumbling off the football field looking like he got his fucking bell rung? Why are you doing those things while Jaylen Warren sits on the bench and clearly is the most exciting dynamic back you have on your football team? Why are you allowing your playmakers to sit as you come out and jumbo set after jumbo set, 2-3 tight ends? You don't utilize those guys in pass routes. They're obvious running situations. The defense is able to load the box, pin their ears back, come in and cause disruption. Then you put Russell Wilson in a third down situation, asking him to throw the ball the one time in the entire three-play series and expect him to do some miracle when they know it's an obvious passing down. When you have no balance, people cannot sit here and say, oh, this is Russell Wilson's fault. He's bad. Yes, he's at fault for some of this, no doubt about it. He is not without fault. But guys, you can't sit there and say that it's Russell Wilson's fault when he throws the football 9-10 times in the first half of a football game. That's pretty sad. That shows you that they had no balance, that they had no ability to create the defense to be uncomfortable. And if you're not doing that against bad defenses like the Cincinnati Bengals, then who can you do that against? That's the real question here, my friends. All right, guys, double tap that screen. Hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live, our special edition today. Here reviewing Mike Tomlin's weekly press conference headed into the first round of the NFL playoffs here. The AFC bracket looks like a difficult one to navigate. So we'll see how this all transpires for all teams. But we want to talk about what Mike Tomlin had to say today. And basically that boiled down to nothing. The same thing. And guys, you have to be worried if you're a Steelers fan. I mean, you're not seeing any type of adjustments. You're not seeing any type of ability to adapt. You're not seeing Mike Tomlin's willingness to go out there and make necessary changes. He has been absolutely stuck in the past. And what won in football games 15 years ago when you were playing for Super Bowls, 20 years ago when you were playing for Super Bowls as Mike Tomlin was then with Bill Cowher's team. You were gift wrapped a team that was on the rise, gift wrapped a team that could win a championship now, gift wrapped a franchise quarterback. And the minute Mike Tomlin started to have to make real decisions, real personnel decisions, and players weren't in place, you started to see the mediocrity. You've never seen the real success. You've seen players in that locker room just run amok. These are all things that are true. You've seen the stale and anemic game plan wheeled out there week after week. You've seen, since the departure of Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin's inability to find a quarterback, Mike Tomlin's inability to create a game plan that suits the quarterback that you have in place. You saw Mike Tomlin's inability to put Mason Rudolph on the field last year when clearly he was the best option on the team. Those things that Mike Tomlin just blatantly overlooks and wants to have nobody notice and sit here and just say, we didn't get enough of the basic plays. We didn't make enough of the routine plays. You're not putting your players in position to make the routine plays, Mike. You're putting them in a position in which the opposing team knows exactly what you're doing. This is the pros, my friend. This is the NFL. These people are good. You cannot come in with basic, plain, vanilla game plans. You cannot put these people in that position. They're not going to succeed. I don't care if you have fucking Pat Mahomes at quarterback. You cannot succeed if a defense knows exactly what you're doing. Down in, down out. You can't make anything happen. Why is it that you sit your playmakers on the bench after Mike Williams makes a tremendous catch? You don't see him for barely anything the rest of the way. You don't. Knowing that George Pickens is dropping every football thrown to him. Why don't you utilize Mike? Try to take advantage that they're going to continue to double George Pickens. Take advantage with Mike Williams. Take advantage with Calvin Austin. Instead of having them in a coat, standing on the sideline looking fucking stupid. These are the things that Mike Tomlin got to start recognizing, guys. Joe Walsball, what's up? Yeah, snow's not bad, not as much as they predicted. Andre Steele and always love your backdrop. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. TC Arthur Smith is set to be interviewed by the Jets for their head coaching position. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, I would welcome that change. But to be like Mike here, to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't mind getting a chance to see Arthur Smith without Mike Tomlin. Because, guys, we have to face the facts. Every coordinator that's been in here under Mike Tomlin has performed the exact same offense as the coordinator before. None of this has changed. And that makes me raise the question of, is this Mike Tomlin's offense? Or is this somebody else coming in here and doing the things, maybe in the hiring process, he asks a specific group of questions that dictates to him, hey, does this guy have this exact same philosophy as me? And if that's the case, that's who I'll hire. I won't dare to be great and dare to be different. I won't dare to go out there and find somebody that's going to do some things that are a little bit different and a little bit eccentric and a little bit more cutting edge. I won't dare to do that because I'm going to live inside of my fears and I'm going to just be Mike Tomlin and I do things this way. And I'm going to be so stubborn and pig-headed that I'm not going to have the mindset that I can change. That's where he's at right now. Now, I'm sure Mike Tomlin's one hell of a guy outside. You'd love to have a beer with him. You'd love to hang out with him, outside of that building. But in my opinion, I think that he is one of the lowest IQ coaches inside of the NFL. You can take that with whatever you wish, but the man definitely does not change. And if he doesn't have a low football IQ, then it's literally just stubbornness and foolishness and insanity. Those are the only two options that you have right there because you're seeing the same product down in, down out, week in, week out. You're seeing the same types of collapses from teams each and every season in the same pattern, the same format. This is nothing new, my friends. These things that have happened this season are nothing different than what you've seen for the last several. And why did you think in June that Jason went out there and said 10-7 or 11-6 on the best end? Why do you think I said that? And I based my prediction solely on Mike Tomlin's inability to change, solely on Mike Tomlin's inability to stop being stubborn. That's what I based it on. And again, he proved me correct. I didn't base that decision on any of the players on the roster. Nothing. It was solely based on how Mike Tomlin handles himself. And that word salad, having a vocabulary that's above average, everybody's always so impressed by Mike Tomlin's vocabulary. But let's face the facts. It's slightly above average. It's not very vast. It's not crazy. It's not anything that you would just say, oh my God, that guy's a fucking genius. I'm just saying, man. It is what it is, and I think Mike Tomlin's highly overrated, especially by the national media, and I think Mike Tomlin has to change, or if you're the Rooneys, you have to stop worrying about your public perception in terms of your loyalty and things of that nature, and start worrying about winning football games, because the fan base is starting to become unsteady. The fan base is starting to really get annoyed with this bullshit. Pickens to Carolina, yeah. You'll see what happened. I don't know, man. Maybe, Jared. Maybe. What about an NFC side of things? NFC side of things is going to be deadly, man. You got some really good teams in the NFC side. You got the Lions. You got the Vikes. You got some really good teams, Eagles. It is going to be a real gauntlet to get through the NFC. We'll review that playoff bracket each and every week. We will still do our shows each and every day through the duration of the playoffs, regardless if the Steelers are involved or not. But we will continue to do those live streams and continue to broaden our channel here. Again, guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is our first of 2 live shows today. Also, we uploaded our daily uploads, so make sure you go check that out. But hitting the like button, double tapping that screen, or hitting those 3 little white dots up in the right-hand corner of your screen will greatly help. And subscribe if you're not already. We needed 36 to hit that 4,000 subscriber mark. Also, I want to congratulate everybody in our community. We just hit 2 years of making content. That first year was very rocky, very hard to get going. I never bought subscribers. I never bought views. I never have made clickbait shit. I've always stayed true to myself. I've always stayed true to you guys. I've always tried to deliver things the most truthful way I can. And I want to celebrate 2 years of Mike Drop Sports. Again, we started with 0 subscribers. I was the first subscriber to my own channel. And we've built this thing into something really, really special. And it's all because of you guys. And I have to be absolutely humbled by that. It's so awesome. And I didn't know it was 2 years until it popped up today. YouTube said, congratulations on being a creator for 2 years. And that was absolutely crazy to me. We've really started to gain ground. We're really going to start expanding. I want to thank Sean also for joining me all the time. He's been a great help. I want to thank all of you people that have been true OGs here on the channel. And thank you for joining us, man. We value the fan more than I think most channels do. And we'll continue to do that. TC says, Pittsburgh knows how to play the Ravens. We have a good of a shot as anyone does to beat them. I agree with that. I think if anybody has a shot to beat Baltimore in round 1, it's probably the Steelers out of the bottom seeds. Inger, in the wild card, I'm not predicting or saying who's going to win. I don't want to jinx it, and I believe both teams can win pretty easily. I think it's going to be a war. I think it's going to be a definite war. I think it's going to be something really fun to watch. Joel says, why is Van Jefferson getting more time than Mike Williams? Where is Roman Wilson? Roman Wilson did come back to practice. Perhaps you start to see that. But adding weapons to this wide receiver room is kind of pointless because you mentioned Mike Williams in your comment. Mike Tomlin's inability to put him out there and get him on a moving train. The guy has made some plays. The guy has shown the willingness to get out there and go hard. And I'm not sure why he doesn't get the snaps, and I'm not sure why Van Jefferson gets more than him. But Van Jefferson has emerged as the number 2, and that's really not where you want to be. Van Jefferson's a 4 or 5. He's a role player, but a very good role player. You can't put him in the position of being a number 2. You have to make Mike Williams that number 2, Calvin Austin the 3, Van the 4, and Roman Wilson that 5. I think that would be really awesome if you could get Roman back on the football field. What's up, Sean? James Bauman in the house. What'd he say? Hard to make things happen when the pass plays are consistently deep balls or checkdowns. Airman called it out multiple downs. Yeah, you can't sit there and just try to force feed the football down the field. You got to do it occasionally. You got to stretch the defense. I understand that, and I applaud it because I want to see it. But every play can't be downfield, and Russell Wilson has to understand that. And I think that's Russell Wilson's key problem inside of this offense is guys, let's face the facts. He's not really recognizing and processing the defenses in the way that he should. However, we got to give him credit there whenever considering he's put in obvious passing situations constantly. He's never given the element of surprise. He's never really given a real chance by the offensive line. It's been bad. Dan Moore Jr. played so bad against the Bengals that if they had anybody else at all on that football team, he would have probably been yanked from that game. I mean, his performance was like literally below college level. It was that bad, guys. I rewatched it, and again, it was horrible. Broderick Jones wasn't much better. Actually, the best player on the offensive line, even above Isaac Seumalo, has been Zach Frazier. He's been the best offensive lineman as a rookie for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hardman, we did defenses can't. Yeah, cut you off on every time. Yeah, they can't get you off the field all the time, no doubt. They're going to give up points in today's NFL, and I don't think fans understand that defenses aren't going to be what they were back in the day where they gave up 3 points, 6 points. That doesn't happen often in the NFL. What you need to be able to do in the NFL today is hold a team under 24 points and be able to average 24 points or better yourself. That's how you win. That's the formula to win inside of the NFL. You have to be able to score each and every week. There may be a rare, weird instance that you have one of those games that are really low scoring, but averaging 24 to 25 points a game and holding offenses to under 24. That's what your goal got to be defensively, and I think that that's a recipe for success. All right, guys, double tap that screen, hit that like button as we are on our first of 2 live streams today here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, we started off the show trying to go through and go over Mike Tomlin's weekly press conference here as we head into week 1 of the AFC Conference playoffs in what should be a massive matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. Worse than Mike Williams. Hold on. Wouldn't surprise me if Justin Fields goes to the Jets. That's from Jared. Yeah, I don't think Justin remains a Steeler. I don't know right now if you can bring Russ back either. I don't know where the Steelers turn. I think that's going to be interesting conversation for the offseason. And the days I have time, the days that I'm available to, I might do 2 live streams to fit more off-season type talk in, but we'll see because I haven't really been into that as of late because the season's still going on. They didn't use middle and Freiermuth till the 4th was disgusting. Absolutely. They threw the ball like 11 times until like then. Until the second half, which is absolutely sad. And you see what Russell Wilson is able to do whenever he's using tempo and moving. They do things that are pretty damn good. They can score the ball. And for Mike Tomlin to stand up there today and say, they had an agenda against the Bengals, an agenda in which they wanted to control the ball and limit the opportunity for Joe Burrow. Okay, I applaud that. But when you realize that your offense was absolutely shit, when does it become evident to you as a head coach standing on the sideline watching the game unfold that there has to be time during the game that you start to adapt to the flow of the game? You start to adapt your play sets to that. When does that occur? And if you're going to make $16 million to stand there and make clock management mistakes, roster management mistakes, schematic mistakes, then why is he even employed? Because I'll come and stand there for $16 million a year. I would change at least. I'd have walked over to Arthur Smith and said, hey, fatty, fucking start changing some plays there, chubby cheeks. Let's get some shit moving. That's what I'd have said. Oh. All right, guys, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button for us. We truly appreciate it. Issa says, the media is always making F and Mike Tomlin look so good. He's always being above 500, but you still have players that haven't sniffed a playoff win. Yeah, it's sad to have TJ Watt and Cam Hayward on your football team, and neither one of them have had any playoff success. Mike Tomlin got the offensive playbook from Remember the Titans, run the same 6 plays. Yeah, it's slow and steady like Novocaine, buddy. At least that's what he thinks. But, we'll run the toss play 7 times, 6 times, 9 times. I counted it one time 13 times in a game. They ran the toss play or a variation of it, and it was highly unsuccessful, but yet was continued to be run. That's just what you're seeing from these guys. And I don't know if you can fix stupid. I don't. You can fix issues and problems if you have a willingness to change, but you can't fix stupid. You can't fix ego. You can't fix that shit, guys. And until it's gone, you as a Steeler fan shouldn't expect anytime soon a player with the Steelers uniform hoisting a Lombardi trophy. You just shouldn't. And you can't expect to have any type of playoff success as long as Mike Tomlin's under on the helm. You cannot. Why? Because he has no ability to change. All right, guys, we need to double tap that screen. Let's get up to 40 likes here while we're in the live stream right now here at the beginning part. I'm not sure how long we'll go. We'll just continue with the flow here. Again, make sure you subscribe. We're about to hit 4,000 subscribers here on the channel. Also, it is our 2-year anniversary today here at Mike Drop Sports, and I want to thank you all for making it oh so special each and every single day. Let's keep going. If you are an OG from Mike Drop Sports or you are new to Mike Drop Sports, hit that like button for us to celebrate 2 years of making great content for each of you each and every single day. TC says, just like the refs having too much control over the outcomes of games, Tomlin has too much control over the team and plays called on offense and defense. Seems like it. I agree, TC. Man's always broadcasting. Thanks, Froggy. I am always broadcasting. Why? Because why? I'm here for the people, baby. I'm the fucking people's champ. Let's be honest. If you want to talk sports, I'm the people's champ. We might even do some baseball and shit this year. We might really go broad, big picture. Za Curry. I've never been on the get rid of Tomlin wave, but we need a good offensive coach like Mike Vrabel. Yeah, I look for Vrabel to probably go to the Patriots, but it wouldn't hurt. I agree, man. There needs to be some new blood, new message inside of that Steelers building. Lindsay C. Tomlin is too stubborn to change. He wants to be right instead of changing to win. Why Najee is out there, it's why Van Jefferson is out there, etc. Absolutely. Lindsay, good to see you. And it brings up a good point, Lindsay. Definitely. His ego is that of which he cannot be wrong. And when you draft a guy like Najee Harris with a value pick like the Steelers did, to admit that you were wrong about a guy that averages less than 60 yards per game, wrong about a guy that just doesn't fit into the system in which you're trying to run, wrong about a guy that's not getting to run behind an offensive line that can do the things you're asking them to do. You can't admit it, and it is what it is. And again, when he steps to that podium and he just throws out this word salad that has no value to you as a fan, that has no value to the media, that has no value to that football team, and it shows no change. Guys, it's bad. And honestly, I haven't been on the train of, fire Tomlin either over the last few years. I've been like, every year I say, hopefully this is the year he starts to change. Hopefully this is the year he starts to bring something a little bit different to football. And changes his approach a little bit. But after this month of no change, no willingness to change, and blatant disregard for any type of question that's asked to him about it, I'm done. I'm done. And guys, I have to admit it. Mike Tomlin is not a good football coach. He is low IQ, football knowledge-wise. And I can say that because I can sit here and talk X's and O's with you all day. I can sit here and use all the big terms and all the offensive terms, all the defensive terms, all the schematic shit you want to talk about, cover one, cover two, whatever you want to talk about. That man does not seem like he has a fucking clue. And if you don't have a clue, here's what you should do. Hire fucking coordinators that are innovative and young and cutting edge. They have a clue. Allow them to All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I got a phone call there. I'll make the phone call when I get back off. Where we at? Thank you, downtown. Downtown's in the house. What's up, downtown John Broadway? Thank you, downtown. Del Prods. Steelers will get first rounded by the Texans. No, they are playing the Ravens. Del Prods. Jason Ferguson. Steelers are going to get smashed, unfortunately. Sorry, I had another phone call. You guys back now? Everybody back? We good? Everybody got it? Can you hear me? All right. Thanks, guys. Sorry, I was getting phone calls. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. That's my fault. Let's keep going. Mike Tomlin is like listening to Kamala. Yeah, word salad bullshit. All right, guys, I'm going to get down to the end of the chat. My chat was all messed up. I was trying to find my place, but I'm messed up here. Sound out. Okay. I was just making sure here where I was. 65-77. Tomlin is not missing blocks like... No, I agree he's not, but the schematics are bad, man. So fucking bad. So bad. All right, guys, how long have we been on? About 33 minutes? All right, we'll keep going a little bit. Starting to thinking the Steelers have had just enough talent to make up for the bad coaching over the years. This is why they can't win the important games. Maybe, man, maybe Flatfoot. Maybe. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce off here. Again, this was our first live stream of 2 today. We'll be back tonight at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the show Steel City Live. I'm going to do that because I had to take my wife to work due to snow today. So I got to go pick her up at 7:30. So we're going to start at 6. So make sure you join us for that. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's see if we can hit that 4,000 subscriber mark today. And make sure you like the show and go check out our daily upload that was out this morning. Again, Mike Tomlin's a fraud and a fucking phony. But until tonight, I'm Jason. Peace, my friends. See you. Thank you.